Hello everybody, it's Josh from Headline Outdoors, and thanks for liking, subscribing, and all the good comments. And what I'm going to get to is it's about the time of year everybody will start catfishing. You may see in my last video that I was catfishing on a kayak with the bobbers drifting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through and show you how I rig up for different things with the demon dragons, which are these, and with the Santee float, which are these. I'll go show you how I rig them up. It's not personally, it's not the best way, it's the common way, and I'm sure there's people out there that rig them up different. Let me know how you rig them up. So what we're going to do first, we're going to rig the Santee rig up, and we'll rig it up for flathead. Well, it's going to be rigged up for flathead fishing. That's what it's going to be for. Okay, so what I do different is a lot of times. So what we're going to do, we're going to use a fisherman's knot to connect it to the main line to this with the two-way, and I'll show you how to do that. And I always run a 20-pound leader line. I have a 30-pound main line, the slime line 30, and I go out and get the Trilene Big Cat 20-pound test. It's really good stuff. So we'll get this tied up real quick. Use the fisherman's knot to tie it up. Make 8 wraps. So take it through the bottom hole, take it back up to the main hole, pull it tight, pull that tight. So it looks like that with your fisherman knot. Now that with these, what I do is I'll be fishing off the boat, so I like to make my leaders at least 4.5 to 5 foot long. The reason why I do that is with the fishing and stuff, I've noticed with a little bit longer leader, that's going to keep it in that bite zone just a little tad bit longer when you're on the boat with a troll motor, dragging along, drifting on the boat or whatever. But on the bank, I'll keep it between 3.5, about 3.5 to 2 foot long, depending where I'm on the bank. So I'm gonna come up to my swivel. This is number 9 swivel, and I'll tie the same knot right to the swivel. Wrap it around 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Then run it to the bottom hole. Back through. Then you got your big loop here. Take it to that big. Oops, okay, it didn't unravel. Take it through the hole. Big hole. Sometimes I wet it so it don't friction on itself. Okay, I'll cut the tag end off. The other one I didn't have to do the tag end. So basically look like this. Here's your hook. Here's your two-way. Got about 4.5, 5 foot leader. And it'll help with this floating up higher. Because when you just use this to your two-way, and when you use a slide sinker, this will sit down. This will just sit barely off the bottom. It'll sit like this. Your bait would be like this. So with this, your two-way would be at your sinker slide. Ow. So this will give you extra, so your bait will float up a little bit more. This will float up and this will hang right in there. So get to the next step. Next step is a sinker slide. I really like these sinker slides. You can either put them on before or you can put them on after. I'll do one before. Just slide through the holes, slide up. Then what I always do is I run a plastic bead or a regular glass bead between my knot and my sinker slide. So don't mess up the knots with a constant bead on it. So again, I'll tie another fisherman's knot. Okay, get that tied. There's a little hole like this. Big hole, pull it. And on this line, I like to wet it. Get it wet so you don't pull that friction and just pull that tight. And that's how you get that. So that's one setup. Put this one up. And put there. I'm running this on a Catfish Pro Ambassador. 6500 CS. This is a good setup. It's a Catfish slime line rods. This one's heavy, 7.6 heavy, and I have 2 of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the other one rigged up. Then I'll show you how to rig up the Catfish rigs. Right back. Welcome back. And so now we're going to do some Catfish rigs. I painted up my own. If you guys like to see how I do that, click right in the comments below, and I'll show you the process that I get. I'll have some more blanks coming about the beginning of next month. So if you guys want to see me paint them, I'll show you how I paint them. But I'll show you some colors that I've done real good on. This is the goldfish, orange and yellow. Now around my area, I do really well in this color. It's pink, purple and white with a red and yellow nose. I do really good with that color. Then we got some black and blues. We got some black and green. We got some green and yellow. We got some white and black that I've been doing real good on. We got some dark pink, hot pink and white. We got some pink, more pink and white, orange and yellow, red and orange. I've done real good with this for flathead. I got some green. Done good with these for flatheads, along with the green and yellow one. Done real good on this up on the rivers, flats. Then I did a green, a light green with the yellow with a black stripe outside. So those are the ones that I've done up, like for my catfish lures. Sorry about that. So what we'll do now is we'll go through and I'll show you how I rig up my catfish lures. I take my sinker slide, I put that on. Glass bead, like I said, you can use a glass bead or the plastic bumpers. Then my two-way swivel. I'll fisherman knot that. Okay, now that we got that tied up, cut off the tag. Now again, I'm running 30-pound slime line as my main line on this. This will run some more 20-pound leaders. I've caught some big fish off 20-pound leaders. Never had a problem with it. So that's usually what I stick with. Now that I'm probably going to be fishing off a boat with these, I'll make these another probably about 4.5, 5 foot. Cut it off. Then we're going to go with the white demon dragon. So I come in here. I have the eyes looking towards the hook. I'll go ahead and tie another fisherman's knot. Okay. So then I'll take this leader, I'll tie it to my swivel with another fisherman's knot. Strong knot. I use it about on everything. Eight reps. Sorry if it's taking so long to get to these holes. Last year I injured my thumb on my hand. Sometimes it's hard to grip. This is a hole. Let's set it down. Set it down until it's tight. Cut the tag off. So my leader is there. Okay, now from the hook to demon dragon, I'll cut off about 4 or 5 inches of line, because I run my hook about 3 to 4 inches away from the front of my demon dragon, or from my catfish rig, my bad. So what I do with these is I'm gonna snail these. So you run your line to the tip of your eye and hold it down right here so it follows your shank. You hold it down, then you give it, oops, run it through and hold it down. So you give 8 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now take your tag in and run it right back through your eyelet the opposite way and pull tight. That right there is your snail knot. Cut the little bit of tag off. You don't have to, but we won't do it this time. Then what I'll do is I'll take my line, I'll put it right into the eyelet, and I'll tie another fisherman's knot. 2, 3, 4, 5. Would tie it, bring it back to the loop on the bottom, bring it up, and right to the main loop. Grab the tail end, you pull it down. That's about as far as away as I'll keep it. That's as far as I will. And if I don't like the length, I'll cut off. I'll cut a new piece of leader line and I'll do it again. So let's look at this. So you got your sinker slide, you got your bead, you got your main line tied to your two-way tied to your leader, 4.5, 5 foot, to your demon dragon, or to your catfish rig, to a snailed hook. So that's how I usually run it off the boat. Now if I ran it off the bank, I'd only have about 3-4 foot of line. So then what I do with the sinker slide, I just showed some of my other setup. I apologize. I'll run either a 1/2 ounce bank sinker, or I'll run a 2 ounce. Or if we're on a boat dragging, I'll use some drag weights. So basically all you do is you open that up, take top drag sticker, loop it in, and close it. So as that's sitting down in the bottom, you have your line tight. This will float up because you got the extra room. This will float up and suspend your bait, just like the Santee rig. Both are very, very productive. So I got 2 rods here. Then on this rod that I'm running the catfish rig on, I got a Avogarcia 6400 C4 on a Shatter Cat 7.6 medium heavy rod. I've had these rods for the last couple of years and I really, really like them. Okay, I'll get this other one set up, then we'll come back and I'll show you how I rig up for bobber fishing. Okay, bobber fishing. On these rods, these Whisker Seeker 7.6 rods, I like using them because they have a fast tip and they're really good for bobbers. So this rod has a Bass Pro Cat Max, and this other Shatter Cat has a 6500 C3 Avogarcia. Sorry about that. So I have these rigged up, and as most of you know, the bobber's a pain in the butt when you lose your metal piece that goes inside of them. So I'm just gonna sit here and show you. Okay, I don't know how well you guys see it. The plastic bead stop. You can get these from your local bait stores. I like using these a lot better than I do the ties. Then I come down probably about 4 or 5 foot. Then I put a bead. I do fisherman's knot here, and to a 2-way swivel. Run about 4 foot of line down to, then I'll put a bolt weight, then I'll put a number 6 circle hook. That's for what I use for channels. And that's basically how I do that. I might have to show you guys how I rig them up, because this line looks pretty wore out. Always check your line before you go out. If you go to if you're going fishing from one place to another place, you don't want to lose no fish. It's always best just to stay safe and retie. Okay, it's still good. It's not bad. Still got strength. It's always good to go retie, especially if you're on the bottom, like in a reservoir or a lake, and you're fishing around a lot of rocks. Your line will get chewed up a lot. So again, it's a plastic bead stop. The plastic bead stop to your float, to a plastic bumper, to a 2-way swivel. These are all tied on with fisherman's knots. Then another fisherman's knot, 5 foot leader, to a bullet weight, and to a number 6 circle hook. That's my bobber setups. Now, one thing I've learned over the years is how many people have spools of line in their boxes. So what I do, I had some fancy coolie cups made of 10 line outdoors. So if you ever see me out fishing or whatever, stop me and I'll give you some coolie cups. So I'll take my line and I'll stick them in these coolie cups. That way, when you stick your line in your bags, you never have to worry about your line coming unraveled. It's always good cleanup. Keep it for cleanup. But anyways, I figure I'd get on and show you guys how I rig up for lakes and reservoirs. I'll get back on and show you how I set up for rivers later on before I go to river go fishing. Because I set up somewhat the same, shorter leaders, either on my catfish rigs with the floats, or my catfish rigs. Oh, hold on. With Santee rig. They're pretty much the same. I just lower my leader. I use a shorter leader. Then depending on the river, if the river's up, if it's flowing fast, I got an app on my phone. It's called the river app, and it tells you in your state all the different rivers and lakes and all that stuff. The rivers and the streams are good because it tells you the temperatures, the flow rate, and everything, and tells you how high they are. But a lot of times in the rivers, if they're flowing, I'll either use a 6 ounce no roll or a 5 ounce no roll. But if it's down, I'll use my 2.5 ounce weights. So this is where we're going to end it. If you need your whisker seeker rods, your big cat fever rods, and the other catfish rods, check out Rocky Water Outfitters. They're here in St. Mary's, off 33. Turn by the school, take a right at the stoplight, go all the way down the lane, and they're right there. The same building as Stars and Stripes. They're the ones who made the hat that I'm wearing. Made the coolie cups. I got some shirts coming, and they got some more lure fishing. That's their brand. So you can go in there, get your shirts, get your coolie cups, get whatever made. For your catfishing, they have your hooks, your bobbers, your reels, your line, your pulls, and all that stuff to get you going. And Travis is a really good guy. He'll help you out with what you need. So remember, in Line Outdoors, so click like, click the notification bell, click subscribe for all upcoming videos. There'll be more on the way. And thank you again for watching this video and subscribing and follow along with it while you can. Pause and enjoy life, and I'll catch you out on the water.